Good morning, UNF. It is Friday, and I am very excited for this show today. Today I have on Heaven Moto, and I'm very excited to get into their interview. But first up, I am wishing my friend a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Scout. I am very proud of you, and thank you for letting me shout you out on the radio, because I know you didn't want me to. And I am so happy that the spring semester has finally started up, and classes are starting, and I'm getting into the swing of things. But I am also so excited for this interview today, and I know you guys will love it. But first up, I have a few songs, and you're listening to Sunroom Studios on 95.5 FM WSKR Spinnaker Radio. First up, we have No One Knows by the Queens of the Stone Age. And that was Criminal by Fiona Apple, and you're listening to Sunroom Studios on 95.5 FM WSKR Spinnaker Radio. And today I have on Heaven Moto, and I'm very excited to talk with them about everything and anything surrounding the band. So guys, why don't you introduce yourselves?
What's up? This is JB Ramon from Heaven Moto.
Hello, this is Faceman.
And I am very excited to have both of you guys on. So we're going to start with a few basic questions. So let's think back and think, what really got you guys into music?
What got me into music, this is JB. I watched a movie called The School of Rock with Jack Black, and for those of you who have not seen the movie, it's about a guy who is a fraud substitute teacher who teaches the kids of his fake class to play instruments and start a band for a battle of the bands. And I was like 11 watching the movie, and I was very inspired to see like kids who were my age. You know, I saw myself through them, and I thought it was feasible for me to pick up a guitar. And I actually asked my mom for a guitar shortly after watching the movie, and then I got the movie on DVD, and I had a guitar in my hand, and I would pause some scenes, and I'd follow their fingers, and that's how I actually learned how to play guitar.
That is really cool. That is really cool. I feel like everyone's seen that movie sometime.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
It's a classic.
I've heard people call it old now.
It is. It's older.
I mean, what's 20-year-old movie?
Yeah, it's weird to think that that's like a 20-year-old movie now. Like that came out before I was born.
That's a good one.
I saw it in theaters, so at a sleepover party, and we all formed a band that night.
Oh, that's so fun.
That's very
That's
cool.
one of those ones where you rewatch it as an adult, and you're like, man, that really is a great movie.
Seriously. Shout out to Mike White, who directed and wrote the movie.
There's some movies you watch and you look back and it's not. I tried to rewatch Shark Boy and Lava Girl the other day, and it does not hold up to what it did when I was 10.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a long
It's
time.
like a fake Spy Kids.
The CGI is just really bad on it.
Isn't it like a spin-off? Or is it like a whole different universe?
No, it's a whole different universe.
Oh.
It's just by the same people, I think.
Yeah. They just gave it like a green screen treatment.
It looks different.
So it looks fake.
Okay,
how about you?
Yeah, what about you?
Just JB's answer was really good. Mine's not as intricate, but I think I would have to say probably listening to all my dad's old CDs in his truck, like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and Electric Light Orchestra and Tears for Fears. Mm-hmm. Just all that kind of Queen. Queen's another one that I can think of, but mostly a lot of Beatles and Paul McCartney related things.
Yeah. Okay. So you talked about starting your first band when you saw the movie for the first time, but what was your first official bands that you guys were in?
Faceman and I have been in more than a few bands here in the scene, I guess. But I play in another band called Glazed. I think that's my first official band that I'm we're still going, and we've played big shows and go on tour and stuff. But I used to play in a band called Dancel in high school. We used to play Freebird. And those are the two that are
Freebird
important.
is very synonymous with the Jacksonville scene, because I've had on a band, not had on a band, but I interviewed a band specifically, Hang 11. First time I met them as just friends was at a Murray Hill Theater show, and they would just scream, play Freebird the entire show. And it got annoying, but they still do it. They still do it. And people yell it during their shows now, too. And they'll usually play the, Rift.
I've always wanted to learn it, but there's no way I can play
It's
that
6
song.
minutes long.
Yeah, it's too long, and good luck playing that solo. It's way too hard.
I don't even like Leonard Skinner.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah,
Oh, I do.
That's okay. I mean, I have some controversial music takes, but I don't want to hurt any of my fans.
Hey, I saw Leonard Skinner play a couple of years ago
Oh, wow.
in Daytona at the
Oh, wow.
Speedway.
dude, I was there with you.
Oh yeah, you were.
We-
Hey man,
Y'all watched
if
it?
if you were there and you didn't cry, you're lying.
Dude, I remember leaving because I thought it was so cringy. I was just like, dude, like I can't watch this band right now.
Oh, what?
I'm trying to think about my boyfriend's seen quite a few shows in Jacksonville when he was like 12. He saw Kiss, and I saw some
Oh,
photos of
I
him
like
doing
Kiss.
the face paint with his father, and
Oh,
they're very
cool.
funny to look back on and like laugh
Yeah.
about. I've not seen any major bands in concert. I don't think I've ever been able to afford any big like name
It depends.
shows.
I mean,
Rockville was big for
Rockville's
that's
nice.
I wanted to go to
a
that.
cool
I was
thing to go
like
to.
16 when Rockville was
yeah,
there.
the one this year looks really cool.
It does. It does. I feel like if there was any, I almost had the chance to go see Bikini Kill in Nashville.
Oh, that's sick.
Like a few
Bikini
months
Kill's
ago.
awesome.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite bands. I've loved them for a very
Rag
long
girl
time.
bands are right.
Yeah. Kathleen Hanna has been one of my biggest inspirations for anything I do relating
Same.
to music. And I was in Nashville I was on my senior trip, but we were already doing something, and I didn't get permission to go see the show, obviously. But I was like, wow, I'm in the same city as Kathleen Hanna right now, and that was enough for me. I was good. I was like,
Yeah, she
this is-
rocks.
I love her so much. She was my phone wallpaper for almost 2 years, and I look
Nice.
back on that and I'm like, that's really funny. But
Yeah.
she is such a big inspiration to me.
I hope you see her in Latigra
One day,
or Bikini Kill.
Le Tigre would be. I found out that there's a venue around here that had Le Tigre
Oh,
play,
nice.
and I forgot which one it was.
Huh.
One of the
Underbelly,
Jacks.
maybe?
Yeah, I think it was Underbelly.
Yeah, I feel like that's where the big shows
or
happen now.
Jackrabbits. It might have been Jackrabbits.
Yeah.
But it was like
Sounds
they
about
posted
right.
How
something
big is that
about it.
band?
They posted something about it, and I was like, man,
They're
that's
pretty
cool.
big.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Maybe it was Underbelly then.
There's a lot of big shows coming to Underbelly. What about you, Faceman? What bands were you in?
So the only like other really like prominent band I've been in has been a band called Intervention, which is from here in Jacksonville, and that's like the band that I've done like most of my touring and like anything like sort of like successful with. So yeah, Intervention. Drew is my roommate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I met the Face Man when he played in a band called Conjure, though.
yeah, another Jacksonville band.
What year was that?
This was like 2013, 2014.
No,
2016?
not that long ago. This was like
2015?
2015, 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like first started.
I was in middle school then. I was in middle
Wow.
school.
I was out of
Let's
high
go.
school.
Let's go.
I had played drums for like a really long time, and then for that band, I bought a bass for the first time, and I did that, and yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you guys start Heaven Moto specifically? Like, were you friends before, and
Yeah.
then you decided to make a band?
We were friends before because our old band's Glazing Intervention, there's very much, it still is like very much a bromance kind of between our bands. We've toured together and stuff like that. So Lauren became a fast friend, I would say, after that. I'm sorry, the Face Man. I don't know anyone named Lauren. The Face Man and I, we became friends, and during the early stages of the pandemic and quarantine, when no one was going out, we would just have sleepovers at our place, basically.
Lots of slumber parties.
Lots of slumber
Yeah.
parties where we would just do things we can't talk about on the air, and watch a lot of sci-fi movies and.
We probably watched School of Rock.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
once.
We'd watch a lot of movies, and I feel like we're the type of people who are like cursed to be creative. So I feel like we always have song ideas in our heads and things we're demoing and things we're writing. And Lauren showed me like a couple songs. Oh, I'm sorry, the Face Man showed me a couple songs that he was working on. One of them was Perfect Dark, which was our first single. And as soon as he showed me the hook of that song, which is a guitar riff that's like, I like already had lyrics kind of coming to my head, and I think that song like sold me when
Yeah,
you showed it to me.
That was the one that kind of started it, and I was like, well, you know what, I could probably do this like 9 more times.
Yeah. It's a great songwriting for sure.
Thank you.
And I was listening to a lot of like I Am the Avalanche, if you know who that band is, or
I
the
think I
movie
do.
Life.
I
They're
think I
like
do.
very like new. They're from Brooklyn. They're very like pop punky, punk rocky, and I kind of like channeled that energy into the lyrics of the song.
Yeah, and I like what you said about the like curse of being creative. I had someone on a few months ago, Wallace Stein. I didn't get the recording actually. Our my little USB drive failed, and I didn't get the recording of the show. One of my favorite shows, and we were talking about that. Like, there's something in certain people that like the minute they hit consciousness at like 4, it's like you constantly have to be creating or consuming some sort of art.
Right.
And that's always been how like I am, not just with music. Like music, I feel like I constantly have to be listening to music, but art, like specifically with like painting or drawing or even like I know people who like architecture has been their thing. I knew a kid that I like babysat that was like really into car design. It was like constantly. He knew every car design, and he was just like,
Interesting. I mean, it's all art.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's really cool to like think back to that. And you guys are from Jersey, right?
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Okay, New Jersey. Okay, so it's really cool that you guys are down here doing
Yeah,
stuff.
thanks for having us. Jacksonville's
Thank you.
really our second home.
Yeah. It's a lot warmer.
It is a lot warmer. Even now in the winter, it's what 60 degrees today.
Seriously.
Yeah, in
Seriously.
January.
I'm in a Hawaiian shirt underneath my outfit.
Yeah. Obviously, listeners, you can't see right now, but they have matching jumpsuits.
These are our uniforms.
Uniform. They have a uniform. They look like mechanics outfits. They're gray and they've got the band logo on them.
It sort of makes me think sort of like Ghostbusters-ish.
I
You know?
think car mechanic when I see it.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
like
you know, we are Ghostbusters and car mechanics.
oh wow.
At certain times, depending on what hat
Car
we have to wear.
ghosts. That
Yeah.
sounds. There's a show called Ghosts that I watch with my mom sometimes, and there's like a ghost stuck to a car, and we were laughing about that for like.
It's called Ghost?
The show is called Ghosts.
Ghost.
It's like, lady almost dies, and she can see like ghosts living in her house now.
Oh.
It's actually funny. It's fun.
That sounds cool.
It is, but there was someone stuck to a car, and it made me think about like, could a ghost haunt a car?
There's a movie
Yeah.
about that.
Really?
Yeah. What's it called?
You
know
by
what-
Stephen King?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What
I
is
don't know
it
what it's
called?
called.
I would rather it be like a comedy than a horror.
One
I
of
feel like
the
it'd be funnier.
one of the most famous proof of paranormal existence is a photo taken in like the 30s or the 40s of an Oldsmobile car, and there's like a ghost in the back with shiny eyes. It was one of the. It's like a famous photo of paranormal.
I have not seen that.
It's like a real one.
I mean, it's studied, like it's published in books and stuff like that.
Oh.
I'm not even
There's
kidding.
a lot of stuff published in books.
that now.
Okay. I would love to talk more about Ghost, but we need to play a few more songs. So that has been Heaven Moto with Sunroom Studios on 95.5 FM WSKR Spinnaker Radio. Next up, we have Mod Gone by Car Seat Headrest. And that was Fever Pitch by Rainbow Kitten Surprise, and you're listening to Sunroom Studios on 95.5 FM WSKR Spinnaker Radio. And I am still here with Heaven Moto. We've had a very interesting conversation before we had the music going, and I have a few more questions to ask them before we play a few more songs. And first up, I want to know about the name of the band. We didn't get to that before the break, and I would like to know how you guys. I mean, Heaven Moto's not the weirdest name, but. Was it
Right.
just like you guys sat down and thought, oh, that works?
So I don't really have like an interesting answer for this. I just sort of, I can't remember when I thought of it, but I did think of it, and I was like, you know what, that could be a cool band name. So we just kind of went with that, and then it stuck. I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like it's almost kind of like a cliche with a lot of bands where they have heaven in the name somewhere. I can think of,
Heavenward.
is that a band?
Yeah, it is.
Deaf Heaven, Heaven
Yeah.
Slept. There's got to be a band just named Heaven.
Well, I'm more focused on the moto part. Where'd that come
Oh.
from?
I
It's
just
just
think
a word you guys
I think
made
it
up?
just sounds cool. I mean, I like racing, so
Well, I think
It's
like
a racing word?
so heaven.
I think moto would be like,
Like-
that would refer to like something with like dirt bikes, maybe like Supercross or
Maybe.
something.
It's like heaven is like the Christian belief of an afterlife above that's good. Moto is to go forward. So it's like
Oh, very deep.
you know what I
Kinda
mean?
like
Like
we're
Very
going,
symbolic.
we're going into space.
Yeah, like we're a lot of what we sing about and play about has to do with the space above Earth. So
Yeah, your uniforms are not mechanics outfits; they're actually spacesuits.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
you should guys get matching like helmets for it.
They're
That would be-
spacesuits, but like at the same time, like they're like we're like ambassadors too.
I think you guys just think they're cool. They are cool. They are cool.
Yeah, I do think they're cool.
Well, they're uniforms. We have to wear them.
Uniforms. I
We
haven't
have
seen
to.
any of the other band members wearing them though.
They're like almost in the same thing, but theirs are black because they're
Oh.
not really like, I don't know how to explain it. So they're basically like, they're provided and funded by an organization that isn't Heaven Moto. It's called ETR. It's a Extraterrestrial Relations.
Yes.
They are Heaven Moto, but they're kind of not Heaven Moto. They're just kind of like given to us to use.
So you guys have close ties with what was the organization
It's
again?
ETR.
ETR.
Yeah.
So you guys have close ties. How did you come to get close ties with them?
Well, when we saved the world on September 11, 2001, basically we became the biggest rock band on Earth, and we can only do so much as a two-piece. So where we're from, the government has provided us with contracted workers.
Really, New Jersey?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the government where we're from is like a world government.
Yeah.
Where in New Jersey are you guys from? Wow.
We're like the westward east side of. We actually crash landed in the Pine Barrens woods. The face band here will tell you we're from Asbury Park.
That's at least where I'm from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a subsidiary. It's like a committee of the government that provides us with basically anything we want. We're basically like Richie Rich when it comes to. Do you know who that is? You might be young.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, who's
They-
Richie
they-
Rich?
No, they
Us,
did.
a kid who's rich. We're
Okay.
basically like kids who get whatever we want because we save the world.
They did a reboot of that show when I hit like 10
Oh,
on like
really?
Netflix, when Netflix was like old Netflix.
Oh my
and I used to
gosh.
watch it all the time. It was a horrible show.
You could still have the DVDs shipped to you.
No, it was when it was like their color scheme was still white and red instead of black and red now. It
do
was
you-
like when I watched it on my Wii.
Do you remember
Oh.
that? I used to pay for Netflix, and they would mail you DVDs
Yeah.
to watch.
Dude, yes.
I had someone the other week ask me if that was real because they watched the new Scott Pilgrim show and they were
Nice.
like, "Did Netflix actually do that?"
Yeah.
I loved the new Scott Pilgrim show.
It was good. It was good.
Really,
I
really
like
good.
I like
I
the
like
movie.
the studio.
I love the movie too. I love
I-
that director.
I like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but too many people I know like idolize it too much.
I know. Well, those people are like NPCs.
Weirdos.
Seriously.
Okay. What have been your favorite live shows you guys have done?
Our first show at the Walrus was very, very fun. It was well attended, and the vibes were on the Walrus. It's my favorite place to play in Jacksonville.
I do love the Walrus.
It was with a band called Kimbo Show. Rest in peace.
I love Kimbo Show.
Yeah, they're
I miss
awesome.
them so much.
They were great.
I think that guy Robbie is hilarious. Their singer. And then we played with who else did we play with?
Seagate.
Seagate.
I love Seagate too.
Yeah.
Seagate's very close with some of the other bands I've had on. Like
Cool.
Last Resort's played with them, and I know Hang 11 are like really close friends with them.
Hang 11.
That's like that's people my age. They have a band. It's more like
Yeah.
it's surf rock kind of
Yeah.
style.
Right, and that's a whole other scene than what
Oh,
we're
yeah.
from,
Well-
which is cool. But our intention with that show was to merge the scenes of
Yeah.
Seagate, beach,
Yeah.
Kimbo Show, punk scene.
Yeah, that's more punk
like
scene. I was
bridge
thinking
vibes.
I was like you guys are more like indie stuff,
Right.
but
Yeah.
a little heavier than most indie.
a lot.
but
Well, we kind of come from like the hardcore, like emo punk scene. So it's like that's where we're coming from.
like the wannabe My Chemical Romance stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to our record if you want.
Yeah,
because
I-
then you'll see what
Yeah.
that influence
I just
is.
say rock. I think that's just like a good like blanket term.
Rock, yeah, that's a good blanket term. I feel like I know a lot of people that have to put like a word and then rock after it.
Yeah.
My friends Last Resort, they were on last week. They call it golf rock.
Okay, that
They
sounds cool.
they like there's one band they really love that they follow around on tour, but they're just like, yeah, we're golf rock and stuff. And then there's just weird stuff that I've heard people say, like just insert noun rock after it.
Yeah.
But genres are hard to define.
yacht rock.
I mean, you can just make stuff
I
up.
have a friend whose parents love yacht rock.
That's like Huey Lewis.
That's a
vibes.
real thing.
That's
though,
a real
is.
thing,
right?
though. But people, like, I don't know. I've heard people say, like, I heard someone say, like, lawn rock. And I was like, what is
Lawn rock.
lawn rock? And they're like, yeah, it's like dad rock.
Like
stuff you
cutting the
listen-
grass?
Yeah, like sitting on your lawn and, like, sitting on the porch rock. Porch rock. It's like a rocking chair.
Respect.
Yeah.
I could see that. But genres are a very hard thing to define and stuff. So,
Yeah,
And
I'm terrible with that kind of
I
stuff.
can think of another show that we really liked.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
the last one,
which one was the last one?
the release show.
Oh, yeah.
That was my
I
favorite.
almost
Heaven
made
Moto
it
show.
to that. I was back home for the break, so I was like an hour
Nice.
away and I didn't get to come. But I was
Hey, well, if it can make up for it, we're in the process of making like we had a crew there, like film everything and record it. So we're in the process of
was it with
making,
with the what was it, ETP?
ETR? No.
ETR? No.
No,
No.
no.
This was we went local. We like to
Yeah,
support local
yeah.
Local,
businesses.
Yeah.
local Jacksonville stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Little Room Pictures.
Yeah, some
Okay.
people that we deal
No one
directly
from Jersey.
with.
No one from
No,
Jersey.
no.
Okay.
No, unfortunately,
Okay.
no.
But-
Couldn't
No
fly anyone
outsourcing.
down.
They're
No
in the
outsourcing.
process of making like throwing together a video for us. So
That's
Yeah.
really fun.
That show was at Jackrabbits, which was our first time like playing at Jackrabbits, and like
They're a bigger venue, right?
yeah, they're historical. Like they've been around for a while, and we also, every time we want to book a show, we're trying to merge scenes. So we had a thrash metal band called Rhythm of Fear.
very good.
We had Runners High, who's our dear friends, bringing that shoegaze punk fuzz
Ah,
vibes.
I love that.
And then, who else played? I'm missing.
Guilt.
Guilt. You know who Guilt is?
I don't think I do.
They're like emo violence.
That's
and that
fun.
is GILT.
Yeah.
Guilt.
Guilt.
So, shout
Okay.
out to those bands. Thanks for playing our release show.
That is really fun. Okay, so we have a few more questions to get into in just a little bit, but first up, just a few more songs. So that is Heaven Moto with Sunroom Studios on 95.5 FM WSKR Spinnaker Radio. Next up, we have When You Sleep by My Bloody Valentine. And that was A Dream with a Baseball Bat by Faye Webster. And you're still listening to Sunroom Studios on 95.5 FM WSKR Spinnaker Radio. And I am still here with Heaven Moto, and this is our last few questions before the end of the show. And I'm going to talk to them about their most recent album, actually their first album that came out a week ago.
It came out on Christmas.
Christmas. It came out on Christmas.
2023.
Oh, okay. I thought it had come out at the release show. But, okay, so Christmas of this past year. So, how did you guys start that? It's just a recording of all the songs you've been doing live, or are there anything special?
So, remember when I was like, we had a bunch of sleepovers and Lauren showed me a song?
Yeah.
It all started at that moment. So that's the first song that the Face Band, not Lauren, showed me was called Perfect Dark, and it was our first single. And, we spent most of the pandemic writing it and recording it with our friend Drew, who is an ETR supplemented contract musician. And Drew does great work. Drew just recorded Origami Angels' most recent album, if you know who they are.
No, I don't, but I'll be on the lookout for
They're
them.
like a fifth wave emo, noodly emo band. But yeah, we came up with a concept. Honestly, like, do you know who Forgive Durden is?
I think so.
They're
That's deep cut.
That's an artist who released a musical called Raise His Shadow. And I think Lauren and I, at the very beginning, wanted to challenge ourselves to write like a musical, basically. The album's a musical.
It's an well, yeah, our album is
a
in a
rock
way,
opera?
but like that Forgive Durden album, if you've never heard it before, you listen to it and you're like, is that Brendan Urie? It's like Brendan Urie, Max. It's all these names, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
like but it's something you've never heard of before. It's really
Right.
cool.
Like a rock opera, or
It's not even a rock. It's like a straight up like they have like programmed symphonies and stuff. It's,
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay, so
real.
like an
It's like a
actual
straight up musical. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think, Faceman, I think we bonded over Forgive Durden, and that was the first bridge that we, like, built to create Heaven Moto.
Right.
Was our interest in Raise His Shadow.
Yeah.
That's an old album. Even for us. We're old. That album's beyond our years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Old Fueled by Ramen album.
It came out in, like, 2005.
That is the year I was born.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, my gosh.
that is the year I was born.
You might be Raise His Shadow. So we wrote 10 songs. I was kind of like, we were watching like musicals, we were watching sci-fi movies, we were listening to like, you know, the punk rock that we like. And it all just kind of came together, and the album is called Heaven Moto. It's our arrival.
It's a self-titled.
Yes, it is. We figured it would be fitting.
It is fitting. It is fitting. But like last question before we have to wrap it up because it's almost 11. What do you think your favorite song on the album is?
My favorite song is called Downtown Automatic. It's our second single. My sister sings on the track with me.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, she's you know, she sings the harmonies. It's a very like Powerpuff Girls theme song, kind of like if you know the band Biss, who did the theme song for Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
It's very kind of inspired by that aesthetic of like suit up and like head downtown to like go save the world. It's like a superheroes like theme song.
Is it based off of your personal experiences of saving the world?
Exactly. Yeah, when the Scourge came down and we took Perfect Dark, our ship, crash land on Earth, they tracked us back to our home planet. You know, destroyed every major city. But, you know, because we are who we are, we did what we had to do. And that really is the song of, like, a big conflict on Earth. Downtown Automatic.
Yeah, and your favorite single?
That's such a hard one to answer. I mean, I love all of them so much. Maybe I'll just cheat and say the song that I sing on, You Wanna Go. It's called You Wanna Go, Moto's Retort Part 2. But I like that one, especially your verse on it. Like, and a lot of people have told me that that's their favorite song as well, which has really surprised me.
It's a good song. It's like a lot of downbeats, easy to bang your head to.
Yeah.
And where can you listen to the new album and all these singles?
It's all on Spotify, Apple Music.
Apple Music.
I mean, it should be on Tidal.
Yeah. Amazon Music.
Anywhere, pretty much.
Please listen to it on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify is like the one
If
that
you want.
people actually look at and will give us opportunities.
Okay, so check them out on Heaven Moto on Spotify mostly, but
Or
also
on
Apple
social
Music.
media, too.
Social media. Their
Yes.
Instagram page is just Heaven Moto
I think it should be Heaven Moto Band.
Band.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys
If you search Heaven Moto, we're on like anything. We're the only thing that comes up, pretty much,
and
as far as I know.
I have them tagged on my Instagram page, and my Instagram page is Sunroom Studios Radio on
Sunroom
Instagram.
Studios, shout out.
We're on the show.
I know.
We're shouting out my own show. Shout out Spinnaker Radio and their Instagram page.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
coming on, guys. It has been a wonderful hour to spend with you guys on air. And if you guys want to listen to the recording of this, if you missed it, or if you just want to re-listen to it again and again, I have a YouTube channel, which is also Sunroom Studios Radio. And I will be putting that YouTube video out this weekend, probably. Thank you so much, Heaven Moto, for being on today. It has been wonderful. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. I have been Violet on Sunroom Studios on 95.5 FM WSKR Spinnaker Radio. Next up is Your Best American Girl by Mitski.